What's up, guys? Beast Coast NYC Furby back at you again with another video, and this time we're gonna be doing a little bit of speculation about the end of Street Fighter Five Season Five, and what's gonna be happening into 2022. So Capcom has obviously released like a roadmap for Season Five throughout the year. Overall, in terms of season five and how they got info out to the public, Capcom's done a pretty good job of telling people like the characters are coming, like like the balance and like when they should generally expect new content. And obviously this is a slide from earlier in the year. We know the new character now is Luke, right? And Luke is the last character for season five, Street Fighter Five, and so far, so far he's pretty sick. Like does like a lot of damage, like high damage output, good Okizeme. Like we've already seen like a lot of pro players do some big things with them already, and already winning a couple of tournaments, right? But there's this period between the end of a Capcom Cup, into next year, like that we kind of don't know like what's gonna happen, right? So obviously at the roadmap, it says it's gonna be like a new battle balance, and like Capcom has stated that that battle balance is gonna be coming like around Capcom Cup time, right? And we now know that Capcom Cup is going to be in February of next year, right? So it's kind of going to be like this weird transition period, Like obviously we've not heard anything about Street Fighter 6 yet, and all Capcom has said is that look into Luke as a preview of the future of Street Fighter, right? And what do we know about Luke? He has really good projectile game. People would think he's going to be like an up close brawler, but not necessarily the case. He has a good projectile game. He has like a fireball uppercut, probably one of the fastest fireballs in the game. Does really high damage right now. Like he does have an execution barrier in the sense that in order for you to get the good combos, you have to get the charge timings down for his punches, right? And if you actually mess up the charge timing, you drop your combo, right? So people got to be on point in order to get that higher damage, right? And he can be played multiple playstyles. I really like the late stage characters DLC wise in terms of how they play. It seems like with the first season DLC compared to the last season, obviously like Capcom's really got into a groove in how they develop and balance these characters, right? So since Street Fighter 6 hasn't been announced right yet, it's like I'm wondering, what Capcom Pro Tour is gonna have in store for next year, because usually Capcom announces the next season of the Capcom Pro Tour, like immediately after Capcom Cup, right? So are they gonna stick with this for another year? Are they gonna announce Street Fighter 6, right? Like what will that possibly be happening? We don't know. Like but so I'm gonna give you guys my guess, like on what I think. I think currently, because we're in a pandemic, development time has slowed, and like they're gonna let this go on for like another year. I could be wrong though, but if you really think about it, if these games do come out on next gen systems, people generally have hard times getting next gen systems, whether it's like PS5, Xbox Series X, or even a PC. Like it is pretty hard to get right now, right? And like still can't go into offices to develop games, and yeah, like if there's not an install base, I think that Street Fighter Five right now, the way it is, it's profitable enough for Capcom to keep going. I think the entire game and like the entire league at the very least breaks even or makes a profit. Because of all the DLC characters, of course, like all the costumes, and then they're all like these cross branding deals with other games. Like I've already seen like Epic, and obviously in Japan with the Street Fighter League, they've managed to monetize their league, and like they have it like in they have it in the US as well. They're flying out players, like, so I think this game is in a good place and is definitely breaking even, if not breaking a profit, right? And like they might not be ready with Street Fighter 6 yet, mostly because like I think the install base isn't really there yet, and it's just hard to get consoles. So I think they're going to extend this out. I think they're going to extend it for another year, right? And I don't necessarily think that's a bad thing. If we think about Ultra Street Fighter 4, Street Fighter 4 series, how long it stayed alive, came out in 2008, right? And Street Fighter 5 didn't come out until 2016, right? So Capcom definitely has supported their games for a while. I think this game is in a good enough place with the balance and everything, and Capcom Pro Tour, that like they might extend it. They might extend it again for another year online, right? I could be wrong though. You know, they could throw like a totally new title out, right? Like maybe something needs to get released for PS5, and like, you know, Sony does own Evo, right? So they're probably trying to blow it up with Street Fighter 6 like on PS5 or something. But like I wonder, you know, even if they go that route, it's probably going to be backwards compatible with PS4, right? Like it has to be, right? Like it's gonna be three versions. It's gonna be three versions where it's like PS4, PS5, PC. So like that could be a possibility as well, right? Because like we already know, like they're obviously working on the next Street Fighter game. We just don't know how far they are in. We just don't know how far they are in development. The next few months, the next few months are gonna be pretty interesting to see, right? You know, obviously, you know, season 5 right now, like for most of the pros, like they're liking it right now. Like the balance has never been better. A lot of the problems with the game have been fixed. You know, there are still some problems. You know, like some people have netcode issues here and there, for the most part. Like some people are fine, right? And it's really been a situation where a lot of the pro players are playing on PC at home on, you know, 240 hertz monitors. Nemo actually mentioned in his interview with Brian F that they're all playing on optimal setups now, right? So it's definitely like a weird and interesting time for Street Fighter 5. But the game definitely has had its ups and downs, right? But yeah, like obviously, like with the end of the season, how we're gonna play out, you know, I think it's gonna be really interesting. Anyway, guys, those are my thoughts, you know, as far as what the end of the roadmap is gonna be for this game, you know. And it's definitely been a crazy ride. Like, let me know what you guys think in the comments. You know, is it gonna be like another season of Street Fighter 5, right? Is it gonna be Street Fighter 6 from the jump? I'm fine with another season just off the jump. I'll obviously play 6, but I wouldn't mind playing this game for another season. Like I really feel like it's starting to mature. You know me. Like I love the old games, right? So a lot of the old games, the meta stays around forever. I mean, like this game, like the meta obviously changes because of the mid-season balance patches and stuff like that. But still, you know, like I'm a fan of games staying around and the meta evolving, because start game meta is way different than end game meta. But yeah, guys, make sure you guys like and subscribe. Let me know what you thought. Let me know what you thought about the video, and yeah, what do you think is gonna happen next year? NYC Furby, peace out, guys.